Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, I want you guys to get serious about your mindset and your manifestation journey because everything is available to you. Every single thing is available to you. And if you look around in your life and you're not happy about things and you want to change things and you feel stuck with the cards that you have been dealt, I'm here to tell you that if you invest in your mindset, if you invest in your manifestation journey, things literally change. Whether you want to call it manifestation, whether you want to call it mindset, whether you want to call it whatever you want to call it, I am here today to give you step by step how I have created everything that I want out of life. So it wasn't always like this, okay? I used to be in a place where I was just not okay and I felt stuck, and I used to say to myself, like, is this really all life is? Is this really all life has to offer me? Like, I used to say that to myself all the time, and that's when I started to delve into the worlds of unlearning what I had been taught and learning how I have the power to create whatever I want in this life. Everything you see outside of you has been created, and it all started from here. If you are tired of the cards that you have been dealt and you want to create something else in your life, whether this is more abundance, whether this is relationships, whether this is travel, whether this is freedom, whatever it is that you want, you can have it if you follow these steps. And I guarantee that, because I have changed my life by following these steps. My clients have changed their lives from following these steps. Do what you will with this information, but I'm here to tell you that this shit works, okay? So how do we start this journey? Okay, you don't need to be some expert. You don't need to do any crazy rituals. This is literally working with your human avatar so that you can create an energy shift that then affects reality. As I said, everything starts in here. What is this? This is energy. So if you can change the energy about something, it will manifest in a different way, meaning your reality that has manifested from your energy will manifest in a different way. Okay, mastering your mindset, mastering your energy, and then you can manifest what you want. Manifestation is mindset and energy combined. I mean, it's not a ritual, it's not a practice, it is a lifestyle, it is a mindset that you have, okay? It is an energy that you have about you. And by doing these next steps, you will find that things will quite literally just change in front of your eyes. And once you prove that to yourself, like once you see the first thing change, you realize that it's really not that deep and it's really not that difficult. And I used to say that all the time, it's not that deep. We're on a floating rock. We are balls of energy inside a human body, and we are living, and everything started from us within the energy. So it's time to start using that. You know what I mean? So the first step that you need to do is you need to figure out what you want. Okay. If you don't know what you want, I can guarantee you know what you don't want. It's so easy for people to be like, oh, I don't want this, or I don't want this, and I don't want to feel like this, and I don't want to experience this. Okay, well, that indicates what you don't want. So what is the opposite of that? What would you swap? What would you replace it with? How do you want to feel? What do you truly want? So something that I do is I went through every area of my life, because I am the creator. I'm going to dictate what reality I live in. Don't know about you guys, but I'm going to dictate what reality I live in. I'm going to make it happen. So the big one for me was always finances and career. I didn't have the most abundant life previously, and I knew that I hated the feeling of that. I hated feeling like, oh my God, how am I going to afford this? Oh my God, I can't even go out with my friends because I can't afford it. Oh my God, I can't do this. Like, I hated living like that, and I did live like that. And that showed me I don't want that. I want the opposite. I want to feel abundant. I want to feel like I can go do things without that heavy weight holding me back, making me feel guilty and shameful for even like buying something that'll make me happy. Like, I was compromising a lot of things because I was not an abundant person and I was struggling. And so I went through and I realized I don't want to feel like this. I don't want to be struggling. You know, there's millionaires out here on earth. So I decided, okay, how much would I want to make? You know, what's a rough estimate? And it wasn't me jumping straight to being a millionaire. It wasn't me jumping straight to making millions. It was something that was still achievable so that I had more confidence achieving it. Because I was like, okay, yeah, I could do that. You know what I mean? So I came up with a number that I wanted to make. I didn't want to live in this restricted energy of not having enough. I was just like, 10K a month, that's achievable, I can do that. To me, it was something that I knew I could do, and it was something achievable. And if other people can do it, I can do it too. I'm no different from these people. You are no different from these people. The people that are earning the money that you want are no different from you. They just believe in themselves. They've done the work to create that and have that capacity to hold the energy and be mentally there to not push it away, you know, to actually receive it and hold it. So that's something that I did. I was like, okay, you know what? I want to make a decent amount of money here. I don't want to feel like this. So I learned from what I didn't want, what I do want. Okay. I then looked at relationships. Okay, well, I've never really experienced a proper relationship before. I've never really experienced like that unconditional love, or I want my people. Like, I'm tired of grieving people. I'm tired of going through shit. Like, I just want solid people in my life, right? Whether that was romantic relationships, friendships, family, whatever it was, I realized through my struggles what I do want. Okay, I want this. So I went through each area of my life and I figured out exactly what I want. How do I want to feel? Write it down. Okay, you can create like a little sheet with different bubbles for different areas of life. Don't think that anything's too good for you. Yes, you need to do it in stepping stones to build up your confidence and self-trust, but don't think, you know, you can reevaluate this at any time. You can achieve these things and then go bigger. That's the whole point of this. You have to keep building. Hi guys, quickly just jumping on to let you guys know that on the 27th of June, I am hosting a free manifestation mastermind, a 60-minute live class with myself. So if you want to jump in, just visit my website and there is a box at the top of the website, just like this, where you enter in your name and your email to receive the invite. I hope to see you guys there. And I'm also giving away one free membership to Beyond the Veil as well at the end of the class. So if you want to win a potential free entry into Beyond the Veil, my private community with exclusive content. So make sure you jump in live so that you have a chance at winning the subscription, and most of all, learning how to master your reality and manifestation. Okay, I'll see you guys there, and let's jump back into the video. So once you understand what you want, you then need to ask yourself the question, why don't I have this? And don't look at your reality to give you the idea of what you want. Okay, don't look around you and think, oh, I want this, but there's no evidence of it, so I'm not going to put it on my list. Put it on the damn list. You'd be surprised at what happens after you master this process, after you learn this information. You'd be surprised, okay? You need to then ask yourself the question, with every desire that you want in your life, why don't I have this thing? Okay, so for me, I wanted to make 10K per month. And I used to ask myself, why am I not making 10K per month? Why am I not there? Why am I still struggling? And let me tell you, the list of excuses and reasons, like, I mean, it was never ending. There was a lot there. And this was just a reflection and evidence of how much I had been programmed from my childhood, from my past experiences, and from my current reality. You know, I'd look around outside of me and I'd find every reason, every piece of evidence as to why I wasn't making that money, right? I would look around in my reality and I would look at all the ways that I'm blocked. I would then think about the past and all of the past experiences that I've had, and everything would point to the fact that you can't make that. So I had this internal belief system of that's impossible, that's only for special people, this is all you've experienced. You know, I had so much internally that no wonder I wasn't making that money. No wonder I was struggling. No wonder I wasn't an abundant person, because I had this programming from my entire life that was broke. I had all this evidence in my reality that I was broke. The number one thing people say is like, oh, I look at my bank account, and then it's like, you know, it's like you look at your bank account and you're like, yeah, I am broke. You know, you internalize this, you know, and that's where your mindset needs to be greater than your environment. Like, you need to overcome your environment. That's the number one thing that people struggle with. You know, once you overcome your environment, everything else is on the other side of that, right? So you need to understand what programs you have around your desires, around what you want in your life, because the reason you don't have it is because you have a program that contradicts it. The great thing about this is it's not about you changing your desires to match your programming. It's about you changing your program to match your desires. I said what I said. Why should you give up your heart's desires because you've never experienced it? This is the whole point of being on earth. This is the journey of being on earth. Okay, so why should you have to give up what you truly came here to experience? Because what you want isn't random. You know, we all want different things. Like, you want this thing because you're meant to have it, right? Start telling yourself that story. So why should you have to give that up? Because you were born into circumstances, or you've born into experiences that are not reflective of that. Okay, things can change. You can change things. You don't realize how powerful you are. The only thing you can control is you and your internal world. So think about it that way. So once you understand that what you want isn't random, and you have a program that is kind of like contradicting, beliefs create your reality. Like, it's not your thoughts. It's not any of that stuff. It is the root belief. Once you change your beliefs and your programming around your desires, you then think different thoughts. You then have different emotions about it. You then have it backed by a new belief system. You've just hacked the process, right? That's all it takes for you to actually create something, because that creates an energy shift so powerful that the external reality has no choice but to match it. Like, it has no choice. Like, you are forcing the universe to give you what you want by mastering your own energy and mindset. So go through and understand what beliefs you have about what you want by asking yourself the question, why don't I have this? Once you ask yourself the question, you have your big list of excuses and reasons. I want you to figure out where these came from. Was it an experience when you were younger? Was it an experience that happened yesterday? Is it because you keep checking your bank account? Is it because there's something in your reality that's telling you that? Understand where it comes from so that you can zoom out and see the bigger picture. So you need to take yourself out as like bird's eye point of view to look at it and realize it's just an experience. It's just something that you observed. It's not fact. It doesn't have to control the rest of your life just because you went through one experience, right? And that's where people get stuck, because they can't detach from the past. And if you were living in the past, then how can you create a new reality? Like, tell me now, how can you create a new reality when you are still anchored in the past and having it so deeply ingrained in your subconscious that that's not available to you? Pull apart these roots. Do shadow work. This is shadow work. This is you doing direct shadow work in alignment with what you want. Once you detach, this is the process of releasing and understanding, you know what? Even though I've never experienced 10K months, or no one really around me has ever experienced it, I don't know what that's like. That doesn't mean that I never will. That doesn't mean that I'm not worthy of that. That doesn't mean that I'm not capable of that. It just means that I'm the first person to do that. It just means that I'm going to be the one that creates that and provides that evidence so the people around me can see that it is available and it is okay to receive that. So once you do this process, you truly understand that your programming has been holding you back. This is where you need to create a new program. This is where you need to look at your list of desires and create and flip the why. So why don't I have this? Because I've been told I'm broke. How can I flip that narrative? How can I flip that story that I tell myself? How can I create a new belief? It is safe to be wealthy. It is safe to be abundant. I am abundant. I am always constantly being provided for. Whatever you want to believe about this, start telling yourself that story. Start replacing the old with the new. This is all internal work. So you can't stand there and be a victim and say, oh, it's easy for you to say, you got this, you do this, whatever. No. I went in just like you can do, and I looked at my shadow. I released limiting beliefs, and I did the work to implant new beliefs. So now I'm living the reality that I wanted to live. I could have been back in that old reality. I could have stayed there, but I didn't. And that is a choice that you have, because you don't need anything to do this. You just need yourself, just as you are now watching this video. You have the power now to finish this video and go do the work. 10 minutes. If you don't have that spare time to do that, you can even do it in your head. You don't even have to write it out. You think thoughts all the time. Why don't you think about your excuses? Why don't you think about your limiting beliefs and how you can flip them? When you were having a shower and you were washing your hair in the shower, why don't you think about how you believe certain things to be true and change them, right? Anyone can do this. And if you make excuses, you are being a victim to the past and you don't want it bad enough. You just simply don't want it bad enough. And that's okay, because a lot of people find comfort in suffering. A lot of people find comfort in that familiar reality that they've always experienced. See, I was comfortable. Even though I hated the feeling of never having enough money and not being an abundant person, I hated that feeling. It was yucky, and that's what motivated me to pull myself out. But that was hard because it felt comfortable, because that's all I've ever known. So when I started to make more money, it almost felt like a bad thing. It almost felt wrong. I almost felt kind of guilty for it until I realized, hold up a minute. My program is trying to keep me safe back in the past because that is known. It's predictable. I can control it. It's predictable. I know what's going to come next. There's nothing to fear, right? But when I realized that my mind was trying to sabotage me, so I would push away the money, I would push away the success, I would go out of my way to make sure that it didn't happen. Why? Because I was self-sabotaging. And maybe that's something that you were doing. If you were consistently making excuses, if you have the time to complain about your circumstance, you also have the time to create new, right? You have the time to invest. If you can sit there and complain, if you can sit there in the comment section and type up, oh, blah, 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 spend that energy into bettering your life. That's energy. You're sending me energy by doing that. Okay? Bad energy, good energy, you're still sending me energy. So I'm sending that back to you now to go invest in changing your life instead of being in a comment section. But people don't want to talk about that. People don't want to take accountability. It's easier to just be a victim and complain than take accountability and find the motivation or find something to get you there. Once you implant in new beliefs, and you can create a script of new beliefs, like you can go through every desire and create a corresponding belief that aligns with it. And you can talk to yourself in the mirror when you're getting ready, right? Tell yourself these beliefs. Look into your own eyes and say, Abby, I see you. It is safe. You are abundant. You are magnetic. You are that person. Tell yourself that story. I even go to the extent of recording myself saying these things on a voice memo, and I listen to that before I go to bed, as I wake up, because I want my subconscious to do the work for me. I don't want to stay in suffering. I don't want to stay as a victim. I want to be an abundant person. I want to be a successful person. I want to be a happy person. I want to feel comfortable. I want to be able to experience Earth to the fullest. It's important to remove the guilt and shame about wanting those things, because people will try and shame you for it. Oh, all you care is this, all you care about this, blah, blah, blah. Well, I don't want to stay struggling, right? And don't be unapologetic about it. It's not a bad thing. The people that have guilt and shame block themselves time and time again. You see people that get angry at wealthy people, that are pissed off, that think that wealthy people are bad. That's a belief system that they have. That's a reflection of their programming. But the truth is, if you can say, I want this, and say it with your chest and own it, and not feel guilty and not feel shameful for wanting that thing, you push yourself one step closer to receiving it. Okay, don't feel bad for what you want. Don't feel shameful for what you want. If you're not hurting anyone, if you're not inflicting pain, if you have good intent, don't feel bad about it. Don't feel bad about wanting more money. Don't feel bad about wanting to be abundant. Don't feel bad, because people will try to shame you for it. People will try to project their insecurities and their programs onto you because they don't have the belief yet to be wealthy, to be abundant. So don't take these people's opinions and internalize them, because it doesn't matter. Don't feel bad. Don't feel shameful. Don't feel guilty. If this is not hurting someone and this is not like doing anything of ill intent, then go for it. We live in such an abundant world, and this isn't just about abundance and money. This is about anything. This is about relationships. This is about home. This is about travel. This is about career. This is about happiness. This is about everyday life. Any department that you want to pick for your life and change, don't feel bad about it. Don't let people say, you're never going to find that person that matches your standards, or you're never going to attract someone that matches your standards. You're just so picky. You're just so rah rah. No. This is a projection of them. You meet your match, you know what I mean? This goes into the shadow work as well. When you ask yourself why, well, why do you feel bad about that? Why is that a bad thing to do? After you start reprogramming your subconscious mind, you'll realize that your subconscious does the work for you. So as you have your desires, your subconscious starts to rise to meet the standard that you've set with your desires and the work that you've done. Once your subconscious mind and your programming and your beliefs get in alignment with your conscious desires and conscious processes and your conscious thoughts, when that gets into alignment, the universe has no other option but to match it. This world has no other way but to give you that thing. So you need to be able to invest in reprogramming your subconscious mind to match your conscious desires so that there is alignment, so that the universe can give you what you want, because on every level, you're already there. Your energy is now there. Your beliefs are there. Your emotions are there. Your thoughts are there. And your mindset is there because you're not a victim. You don't feel bad about it. You feel confident about it because now you're backed by belief. Everything's just vibrating at that frequency. It happens. Obviously, there's so many factors that go into this as well. Like everyone's journey is so unique. And I learned that through working with clients day in, day out of manifesting, where you have to really tailor it to the person. You really have to tailor it to yourself and cater to what you're experiencing and the feedback that you receive on a subconscious and conscious level, right? And once you do this, you find your groove and things happen. I remember when I was making these shifts in becoming a more abundant person and changing my mindset and changing my energy, I realized that I hold the power, and that even if everything else around me is telling me no, I was telling myself yes, and I overcame my environment. I think people need to realize, and I think you should take this as a sign, that nothing is too good for you, and that once you become worthy and get yourself on that page and on that frequency, it is yours. It is mind, body, soul, yours, okay? And that's the whole point of Earth. Create the best life for yourself. If you want more behind the scenes exclusive content, join my private community Beyond the Veil, where I share so much more than what is shown here on my channel. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.